Chapter 5 Family Reunion and Divine Intervention. The grand opening of Bacon Blossom was a significant milestone for Laura, and she wanted her sister Mary, along with her husband and children, to be there to share in the celebration. Mary was thrilled at the prospect of supporting Laura and witnessing the completion of her hard work. However, the journey to Floraville was not without its challenges. Mary, her husband John, and their children, Sam and Olivia, prepared for the trip, which required meticulous planning. As the day of departure approached, Mary faced an unexpected obstacle. Their car broke down just days before they were to leave. The repairs were costly, and Mary worried about how they would manage the expense. She prayed for a solution, and miraculously, a neighbor offered to lend them a car for the trip. Grateful for the kindness, Mary and John packed their bags and prepared to set off. The journey to Floraville was long and tiring. The children grew restless, and there were moments of frustration and exhaustion. Mary and John took turns driving and keeping the children entertained. They sang songs, played games, and shared stories to pass the time. Despite the challenges, the family remained determined to reach Floraville in time for the grand opening. Meanwhile, Laura was facing her own set of challenges. The renovations for Bacon Blossom had taken longer than expected, and unexpected expenses had drained her funds. There were days when she doubted whether she could pull it off. The stress of managing the bakery and the flower shop was overwhelming, and she often found herself working late into the night. Laura found out that a shipment of essential baking supplies had been delayed. With the grand opening just days away, she felt a wave of panic. She prayed for guidance and strength, asking God to help her overcome this obstacle. Miraculously, a local supplier offered to provide the necessary ingredients at a discounted rate, allowing Laura to continue her preparations. She also struggled with perfecting her recipes. Laura wanted everything to be right, but her cakes and pastries did not meet her expectations. Frustrated and exhausted, she turned to Mary for advice. Mary encouraged her to trust her abilities and believe everything would come together. Encouraged by Mary's words, Laura continued to practice and refine her baking skills. Laura felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. The shop was nearly complete, but a few final touches remained to ensure everything was perfect. As she stood in the middle of her beautifully decorated shop, the aroma of freshly baked goods filling the air, Laura couldn't help but feel a wave of nervous anticipation. She took a deep breath and decided to pray for a breakthrough. Laura asked God for guidance and strength to get through the final preparations. Just as she finished her prayer, the doorbell rang. Laura opened the door to find a woman with a warm smile. Her name was Vanessa, and she introduced herself as an experienced baker who had recently moved to Floraville and was looking for work. Vanessa explained that she had heard about Bacon Blossom and wanted to offer her assistance. Laura felt relief and gratitude wash over her as she welcomed Vanessa into the shop and shared her vision for the grand opening. Vanessa listened attentively and offered to help with the final preparations, sharing her expertise to perfect the recipes. Together, Laura and Vanessa worked late into the night. Vanessa demonstrated her expertise while guiding Laura through the baking process, offering valuable tips and tricks to ensure success. They laughed and chatted as they worked, and Laura felt her anxiety melt away. With Vanessa's help, Laura became more confident and ready for the big day. Meanwhile, Mary and her family were en route to Floraville. The journey had been long and tiring, but they were determined to support Laura's grand opening. As they pulled into town, they were greeted by the sight of Bacon Blossom, its windows glowing warmly in the night. Laura rushed out to greet them, her face lighting up with joy. She hugged Mary, John, and the children tightly, grateful for their support. Even though they were tired from the journey, Mary and her family dropped their bags and immediately offered to help with the finishing touches. John rearranged the furniture while Mary and the children helped with the shop decorations. Sam and Olivia eagerly placed flowers in vases and set out trays of pastries. The shop transformed into a cozy, inviting space, filled with the scent of fresh flowers and baked goods. As the night wore on, Laura's friends Maureen, Stacy, and Cody arrived, and the shop buzzed with activity. Laura, Vanessa, Mary, and the rest of the family and friends worked together seamlessly, each contributing their unique skills and energy. The feeling of harmony and shared purpose was evident, and Laura felt thankful for the support of those who had gathered for her. Finally, as the clock struck midnight, the last of the preparations were complete. The shop looked stunning, with display cases filled with delicious pastries and beautiful flower arrangements. Laura took a moment to step back and soak it all in. She felt a sense of peace and accomplishment, knowing she had done everything possible to prepare for the grand opening. Laura brought everyone together and expressed gratitude for their hard work and support. She said a final prayer, asking for God's blessings on the grand opening and for the success of Bake and Blossom. With hearts full of hope and anticipation, they all headed home to get some rest before the big day.